Hey, what's up everyone? I wanted to take you behind the scenes today into my flip project. So this is a house I'm flipping right now. It's out in the country, it's on 5 acres. I bought this about a year ago and been working on it ever since. A lot of lessons learned on this. I'm no expert at flipping, by the way. I've only flipped, a couple dozen houses, but this was definitely a project. There's no doubt. So today I'm gonna take you behind the scenes, show you inside the house, kind of what I've done to it, and give you some techniques that have worked for me and tell you where I messed up as well. So I hope you enjoy today's video. All right, so first things first, this house was completely destroyed. We're talking rat infestation. We're talking snakes. One of my contractors just found snakes in there a couple days ago, and we got rid of them, but we completely gutted this place. I did the demo myself. That was a big mistake, by the way. And but it's coming together now. So basically everything has been done on this thing. At the beginning when I bought it, I thought, well, I can probably get away with some paint, some flooring, maybe some electrical, some windows, maybe new roof. But as I got into the project, I realized it's going to cost a lot more than that. So one of the things I would tell you is you got to anticipate cost overruns. So if you build in, let's say $5,000 for electric, build in $9 grand for electric instead, because you just never know on these flips. And as a great example, the property had a heating system, but it wasn't adequate. So I had to rip out that heating system and put a brand new air conditioner and heating system in, and that's about 10 grand. The windows, I thought I could replace just a few of the windows, had to replace them all. So that was probably 10 grand by itself. The roof, I knew I had to replace the roof, that was 10 grand. So on this sunroom, I had to completely redo the supports, redo all the exterior was rotting, had to redo all that. Had to replace the sliding glass door at the bottom of the house as well, and some big things outside too. So one of the things I had to do to this property was, two things I had to do as far as the outside work, is I had to have it graded. So I had a bulldozer come in and actually grade the property because it was a lot more steep than this originally and had a lot of ruts and stuff where, you couldn't really mow. So I had to have all that done. Something else that I wasn't anticipating was a new septic system. So check this out. So right here, had to have the septic redone. There's no public sewer out here in the country. It's a septic system. So I had to have the septic redone. That was 7-8 grand. There was a water line problem, so I had to have the water line reran. We do have public water, and that was another $5,000 or $6,000. So it's easy to get in over your head with these projects. It just is. It's completely easy to do. So you have to be really careful as you budget these projects to make sure you anticipate cost overruns, because you will have cost overruns, guarantee it. Now let's go inside and take a look. So my electrician's here, Jaquan. What's up, Jaquan? What's going on? There he is. So again, had to redo all the electric in the house. This sunroom was one of the attractive things about the property because it offered additional living space that I could convert even into a bedroom if I wanted to. So that was an important part of buying this property. The issue was we had to secure the footers and put all new supports in on the sunroom, and had to redo some of the windows and level the floor and all that jazz. But we're gonna put in doors right here to allow us to use it as a bedroom. And one of the ways we do that is with having a closet here. So it works out pretty good. And then, so a lot of natural light. And then in here, there was a wall here we opened up. So we opened up a wall right here that allows us to have a lot more open area, and flows into the kitchen. The kitchen's in the process of being done right now. Lots of cabinets, with the blue cabinets this time. And also bathroom, right? Gotta have a bathroom. So redoing the bathroom tile in the tub. It's only a 1-bathroom house right now. There is an opportunity to put another bath in for the future owner. But, again, trying to keep the cost low for the next owner and trying to make this house an affordable house. That's where the sweet spot is for flipping. It's not in the more expensive houses. It's more in the more affordable price ranges, because that's what everybody wants, right? Everybody wants an affordable house. So kept the laundry room up here, right? We did that, we're able to keep that. One of the great features about the house would be the access to the deck and the backyard from the house. So there's a few different points at which you can access these decks. By the way, I didn't mention the decks outside. That's another reason I bought the place, because the decks were awesome. Needed a lot of work, needed paint and all that, but it was good. Let's go downstairs and check out the basement. Now, if you could have seen this place when I bought it, downstairs in the basement may have been the worst part. And I personally spent probably 2 weeks here, 2 weeks trying to demo this property. And I did get some help from my father, but demoing the property inside as far as the studs and the old drywall and the old insulation was not easy and was dirty and was nasty. So we spent a lot of time on that. And if I do it over again, or if I had to do it over again, I would have not have done the demo myself. That's the first time I did a demo myself. I normally outsource it. I tried to save some dollars this time and do it myself, and that was a big mistake. So another reason this property works so well is the basement. It's got a walkout basement, right? So I'm trying to walk backwards here. But yeah, you've got basically this walkout basement to the backyard. Again, it's got 5 acres. A lot of junk still to clean up, but that's okay. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why I want it, because it's got windows in the basement, so I replaced those windows. It's got all new drywall in this room. So in this particular room, hopefully you can see it okay, but this is, I drywalled and framed this room in so that somebody could have an extra bedroom down here. I've got closet space down here. We've got windows and closet space, so you can count it as a bedroom technically. And so that makes 4 bedrooms in the house, 1 bath. And this room, I thought maybe, like I said, could be a bedroom, or it could be something like a, like a rec room or something like that. The floors, had all the floors painted. My painter is fantastic. But if you can see up here, I had the ceiling painted flat black. That's a great technique. Instead of finishing the ceiling, you just paint everything up there flat black once everything's done, and it comes out great. So one of the big things I missed when I walked this property before I purchased it, one of the big things was the wall in the basement. So I don't know if you can see this or not. Hopefully you can. But there are carbon steel panels that were installed by a basement contractor because there was a hairline fracture in the back wall here. And the back wall wasn't bowing out too much, but it was covered in drywall. I couldn't see it when I inspected it the first time. But if I had really dug in, I could have found it. But once I found that, I knew, hey, to sell this thing, to pass FHA, because that's where the sweet spot is in flipping, in my opinion, FHA, USDA, VA loans, they have to pass certain requirements. One of those is solid foundation. So I wanted this thing rock solid, so I had a professional company come in, do the basement walls, and they provide a transferable warranty. So that's pretty good, right? So it gives the new owner peace of mind. And that's a part I missed. So that alone was $19,000. Just the basement work alone was 19 grand. So that's one of those gremlins I talk about, where you've got a gremlin in the property you're not aware of, you discover it, oops, there goes your budget and your profit. So you really have to budget correctly in order to make a profit, and part of that is building in a lot of room, a lot of extra room. All right, so let's go outside, we'll check out the backyard, and then we'll be done. So yeah, I tried to minimize the fanciness of the property, meaning I didn't put anything in that was extravagant. There's no granite countertops going in. They're really nice countertops, all new cabinets, all new appliances, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I wanted a property that was affordable for somebody, where I could make a profit too, and it would sell fast. So hopefully that's what I came up with. So one of the other reasons I bought the property was the actual land. So this is 5 acres, about 5 acres of land here, and that's a good amount. And this house will probably be priced well under 300 grand for when it's all said and done, significantly under 300 grand, probably under 275, honestly. And it's going to allow somebody to have room to spread out, build bonfires, shoot guns out here, ride a 4-wheeler, whatever you want to do. There's a bunch of property that you would own back in the woods, obviously. You've got great neighbors, and it's peaceful. It's super peaceful out here. So this backyard and the land was also an attractive part. But to get through all this required a ton of energy and a ton of capital. And that capital has to come from somewhere, right? So part of the reason why you see the housing market struggle right now in certain spots of the country is because rehabs cost a lot of money. And to do that, you got to have cash. And the cost of borrowing right now is pretty high. So like, to give you an idea, and I'm really pulling back the covers on some of this, is I had to borrow money not at 3% or 4% where I could have a few years ago. My cost of borrowing was like 7.9%. So how I did it was, when I purchased this property, I did it on seller financing. So I told the owner of the property, I'll buy your property, here's my offer. However, I'm going to give you a down payment and then a monthly payment that I can afford while I'm assessing the property and starting the rehab. Then once the serious dollars started, once I really had to start spending some money, then I went to the bank and refinanced the property. So I have a great bank in town that I use, and small bank, by the way, regional bank. They've got 2 locations, and that's who I prefer to work with. But in any case, I had to borrow the money at like 7.5, 7.75. So while that's not an insane interest rate compared to what you're seeing now, it's definitely higher than 3%. So after refinancing the property, I was able to get cash out in order to do the rehab. And I made sure that the value, when I'm all said and done, is going to well exceed that loan, obviously, so that I can make money. And that's kind of how it works, ladies and gentlemen. What's the downside? The downside is you got to tie up a lot of time, capital, and you really have to learn managing a rehab and anticipating the budget. But that's the downside to pulling all that equity out. So it sounds easy, it's simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But yeah, this property will be listed in the next 30 days. I'm actually going to put it as a coming soon today on the market. It'll be listed as coming soon, and in the next 30 days it'll go live, and hopefully we'll sell it to a great new owner who's going to enjoy it for a lot of years to come. Now, I could keep it and rent it. That's something I could do. I could keep it and rent it if I wanted. But when I did the analysis on this property, I figured out with all the money I got to put into it, it'd be better as a flip. Again, I don't flip a lot of properties. But this is definitely something most people can do. And it doesn't require a ton of capital to do if you borrow the money and you finance it correctly. If you're just paying all this out of pocket, just with cash, then yeah, that's a lot of cash, right? You're talking 6 figures in cash easy to do something like this. And it's all that cash is tied up while you're, working on the property. So then you got to sell it. But yeah, I think this is going to be great. I'm going to do another video once the property is all the way done and show you once it's all finished, and then I'll keep you guys updated as to if it sells or not. And maybe down the road I'll actually show the numbers once we close and all that jazz. I'll show you the numbers of what I actually made on the property and how much it cost and the time involved, because most people don't think about the time involved. They think about just the money, but the time, your time and energy coming out here like this, checking on the property, doing the demo yourself, which was a dumb move on my end. In fact, I may have really hurt my bottom line, my true net profit, by doing the demo myself. All the time driving back and forth, all the energy of doing a 5-man job with a 1-man crew is probably was definitely a negative blow to my bottom line. I mean, in real dollars you're not going to see it, but in net dollars on paper you definitely see it. I mean, how much is your time worth? I probably spent 50 hours out here, 60 hours out here of straight work. Grueling work, by the way. And if you calculate that into your bottom line, it doesn't look as good. So I'll even show that. I may have lost money on this deal at the end of the day. Who knows? We'll find out, but I don't think I did. But it was a good learning experience, and it's awesome to give a affordable home to somebody to live in. Hey, and last piece of advice here. You see this up here? That's my security camera. So this is a Reolink, REO, Reolink security camera. That gives me security surveillance at any time. It's powered by solar and it uses a cell signal. So you don't even have to have inside Wi-Fi to make it work. They're not that expensive now. $150, maybe 10 or 15 bucks a month from T-Mobile for the service. But if you have a remote job site and you're doing a flip, that's a great security camera to use. At least I think it is. And anyway, that's a landlord tip there, or a flipper tip. Other flipper tip for you, solar lights, right? Solar lights. So when you have the property down and you are in the process of flipping it and they've got contractors in there, the electric's cut off, you don't have exterior lighting. To me, exterior lighting prevents a lot of criminal activity. So what do? You put in solar lights. They're dirt cheap. You have those put in, you leave them for the next owner, and now you have exterior lighting and security lighting when you otherwise wouldn't, to keep some vandals away. So that kind of helps too. Hey, so if you learned anything out of this video, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. If nothing else, for the fact that I'm out here fighting the bugs and fighting the heat and doing a lot of this work myself. This is not pretend investing. So you can do one of two things. You can let the dust settle and hope and pray for a market crash, or you can go out and find a deal today. They're out there. I don't care what market you're in, they're out there. And then do something, right? Give somebody a great place to live, put some money in your pocket, build your wealth, but don't wait. No reason to wait. You find the right deal, pull the trigger, but while you're waiting, somebody else is gonna snag a deal from you. I can guarantee that, because it could be me. If you're in Ohio, maybe me, maybe I'll snag it from you. So while you're waiting on the sidelines for the dust to settle, I'm taking the deal. Anyway, have a great day. I'm gonna get back to work. See ya.